We're laughing, passing the blunt back and forth. Next thing I know, I hear a tap. I look at the window. There's a cop standing outside the window, tapping on the window. He's like, roll the window down. So I rolled the window down like this much. I was like, what's going on, officer? He's like, turn the radio down, turn the car off. I'm definitely not going to jail tonight. Yeah, right. As soon as I rolled the window down and cracked, it was just like, all in his face. I leaned over to turn the radio down, and that split second I had a great idea. Well, he's out of his car. I can get away. So I slammed it in drive and slammed on the gas in my Ford Focus. In my mother's Ford Focus. Whoa! But it didn't sound like that. It was more like, that's more. So I took off. Wow! I know this will come as a shock to you. But I violated my probation before. Like, I don't know, like 6 times? I think I violated about 6 times. I violated my probation about 6 times. That's a little overwhelming when you think about it, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you how to violate your probation real easy. What I talked to y'all about in the other video, about how, I jumped out there and I was about to make a bad choice. Actually made the bad choice, but I fixed it before it broke. But I haven't always done that. I want to explain to you how making a bad choice can affect you. And I mean, I know it's obvious. You go back to jail. But it's more than that. It eats away at your insides. It builds your anxiety to a level that you cannot even fathom having to deal with. Depression becomes a factor. When you go and do stupid things and you begin to make bad choices, you don't hang around the people that love you and care about you because you know what they're going to tell you and you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that stuff. So you seclude yourself. So now you're dealing with anxiety, depression, loneliness, and it tears you apart. And when you deal with those things, every day, all day long, for a long time, it tears you down. And that's, drugs become an issue. I'm gonna start way back. The first time I was on probation as an adult, when I came home from prison, I was on probation, and I don't know, I had this fear in me. I was already anxious because I was on probation. At that time, my family wasn't always, able to help me. I remember when I came home from prison, my mom and my sister rented a room from somebody. And, I burnt the bridge with my dad at that time, so he wasn't letting me stay with him. I was homeless. I had nowhere to go. Actually, I was sleeping in my mom's car. Red Ford Focus. Not very comfortable, I'll tell you that. I hadn't exactly done anything yet to be violated, but for some reason, I was constantly looking over my shoulder. Constantly. I was constantly wondering what was about to happen. And then one day I got a call from my probation officer. It was about 3 days earlier than when my meeting was. And he told me, he was like, the message was, the date and the time is still the same, but I want you to come to the 4th precinct for our meeting. You want me to come to the... My mind immediately went so far left field. I was like, oh my God, they found something that I did a long time ago. I don't know what's going on. I start losing my mind. I literally packed a bag and I left. I don't even know where I went. I just went wherever, on the run. After time passed, I ended up getting caught and going to jail. My probation officer came, he talked to me. He was like, so what happened? Why'd you run? I was like, you were gonna violate me. You were, set me up. You were gonna send me back to jail. And he was like, no. Why would you think that? I was like, because you told me to come to the precinct. He was like, yeah. I'm a field probation officer and I have an office there. Felt pretty stupid. But now I'm dealing with an absconding violation, which is the worst rule to violate with because it throws all guidelines out the water. If you abscond, they have full authority and reason to give you all your time back. It's crazy. And guess what? That ain't the last time I violate my probation by absconding. Because I would make bad choices out here. Bad choices. Always comes down to that fork in the road. What are you going to do? I'd always get out and I'd hang out with people and, I'd end up smoking weed or, doing other things. I'm sure you can come up with a good idea of what I've done. And now I'm nervous. Now my anxiety's building up. Now I'm depressed over making a stupid choice. Now I'm lying all the time. My mom, you seeing your probation? Is everything good? Yeah, everything's fine, Mom. My friends, they're like, why are you smoking weed now? You're on probation. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have to go see him for, whatever. And it's all bullshit. You fall into this, well, I did. I fall into this niche of violating my probation. Up until this time, I hadn't caught any new charges. I was just constantly violating and violating. Well, I did the same thing again. This is going on. I think this is my third violation now that I'm about to tell you about. And it was crazy. The lengths we go to. So I don't know how I talked my mom into it, but she let me borrow her car. I had a warrant for my arrest, and I went and hung out somewhere. I was at some people's house. I was drinking, I was smoking weed. I didn't have any other, addictions at that time. And someone needed a ride home. I was like, oh yeah, I got a whip outside. I got a car. I'll give you a ride home. I'm drunk. I'm high. I'll never forget, I had half a blunt behind my ear and about this, I had a bottle this big with about this much Grey Goose left in it. And I was drinking it straight. Got the whole bottle of Grey Goose in the cup holder. Get in the car, start the car up, light the blunt, smoking. Passing it to my little homeboy, who wasn't nothing but 18 years old. At this time, I think I was like 24. And we leave, we take off. And we're laughing and joking, I'm riding. I pull out onto the road, I'm coming up to this light, and it looks like I'm going straight. And he's laughing, he's like, man, you gotta go left. And he grabbed my wheel and he leaned over and like turned the wheel, like, hey, stop. Got the music bumping. Mind you, I had already made, and one bad choice leads to another, and that's what I'm trying to show you here. I'd already made the choice to smoke weed. And because I did that, I knew I would be dirty on my piss test. And knowing that I was dirty on my piss test led me to say, well, I'm already in trouble. Might as well just do whatever I want to do. And so that's what I did. I didn't go see my PO when I was supposed to. Now I'm running. I ain't staying nowhere. It's crazy how, one thing leads to another. And that's just, the law of the world. And I've noticed that it works both ways too. When you make good decisions, it leads to another good decision. You know what you're capable of. Man, so swerve up to this red light. I'm sitting there, music's bumping. We're laughing, passing the blunt back and forth. Next thing I know, I hear a tap. I look at the window. There's a cop standing outside the window, tapping on the window. He's like, roll the window down. Because that's the type of window I had. I don't know. So I rolled the window down like this much. I was like, what's going on, officer? He's like, turn the radio down, turn the car off. I was like, I'm definitely not going to jail tonight. Yeah, right. As soon as I rolled the window down and cracked, it was just like, all in his face. He's mad. I see him. getting a little irritated. I lean over to turn the radio down. In that split second, I had a great idea. Well, he's out of his car. I can get away. So I slammed it in drive and slammed on the gas in my Ford Focus. In my mother's Ford Focus. Whoa! But it didn't sound like that. It was more like... That's more realistic. So I took off, wow, flying down this road. Well, at the time, this road was still under construction way at the end of it. It had those big roadblock things up. It's a 2-lane road. Flying. Flying. Get down there. Literally see these roadblocks and I get scared. I just slam on the brakes, pull the e-brake, and like cut the wheel. Car's like, and I'm facing the other way. Boom. Slam on the gas again. Now there's like 3 cop cars chasing me by this time. Fly past them, go drive around, drive up into like a school playground. It's in the middle of the night. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And what's funny is it was February 2004, Friday the 13th. Look it up. It's a real day. February 2004 had a Friday the 13th. I went running through the park, the basketball field. But the cops didn't follow me through there. I got into this neighborhood, and I like parked the car. He's flipping out. I'm like, dude, where can we go? Because we're in his neck of the woods. I'm not from over where we were at. I'm like, where can we go? We can get out and run. He was like, what? Ah. He's looking all crazy. I was like, oh, God. You don't know where we're going? I know where we're going. We're going back to Virginia Beach. Put the car back in drive, whoop, pull out. I'm like, oh man, ain't no cops. They don't see us. I'm like, we're going to go this way. We're going to go that way. We're trying to cut through. Yeah, that didn't happen. That APB came through. A cop seen me. Someone seen us. And next thing you know, I had like 3 cops on me. 3 or 4. I flew up, got on the interstate. I'm on the interstate. It's foggy out. Cut the headlights off, flying down the interstate, pedal down to the floor. I'm like passing, but I could see him kind of fading back. And I get off the interstate, and where I got off the interstate at, there's this building, there's this business. And there's a street that goes this way, and there's a street that goes this way. And this one's like all windy. So I took that way. But when I got off the interstate, there was like cops like coming, and they were everywhere. They were everywhere. By this time, there was a helicopter out, everything. I think I've been running for like 40 minutes. Been about 40 minutes of just driving around, running from the police. I get on this windy road, and there's 2 cops that are behind me that are right on me. There's a lot more, but there's like 2 that are right on me. And I remember feeling it. Boom. And I kind of slid off the road. Hit me right in the butt. Boom. Slid off the road, came back on the road. When I came back on the road, he cut his wheel and slammed on the brakes and just spun me out. They call it the pit maneuver, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. It's the pit maneuver. I don't understand why it's called a pit maneuver, but that's what it's called. This had me a little twisted. I was all dizzy, about to Earl. I spun out. Mind you, I definitely have been drinking the whole time I'm running from the cops. Like, I don't know what is going through my mind. When I think back to this stuff, it's pure crazy idiocracy. Like, pure stupid. Pure stupid. Well, they spin me out, fly off the road, smash dead into a light pole. It was one of them fiberglass ones. They had just built these apparently because it cost like $4,200 to fix. I got that bill. Actually, I think my dad got that bill. When I hit that light pole, it broke. It landed on top of the car. I drug that thing, 20 yards off the road. And immediately my buddy in the car, mind you, the roof of the car is like caved in on both. It's like, my buddy just got out, took off running. I could see like through the back window when he took off, police got him immediately. I'm dazed. I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting there. The windows all in the car all busted out. Cop runs up. He's like, are you all right? Are you alive? Are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I shouldn't have said that. Because as soon as I let him know I was okay, he reached in that window, grabbed me by my... and pulled me out. Mind you, it had been raining, it's nasty out. He pulled me out the window, slammed me. I'm laying in mud. I got knees in my back. Other cops with guns on me. They're going through the car. By this point now, I had drove through Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. I had Chesapeake and Virginia Beach cops following me. I had state troopers and a local news channel helicopter. That was the helicopter that was following me. They got me out. They got me up again. Now they got me up and I'm up against the back of a cop car with cuffs on, with my face on the trunk. And I remember them arguing about who was going to take me in. Thank God it was Chesapeake because, well, Virginia Beach jail sucks. I got to Chesapeake. I don't know, about 2 days later, I guess my face was on the news. And I was violated. I was locked up. They had got me for the warrant. I got a driving on suspended. And I got a felony eluding. They could have gave me DUI. They could have gave me endangering something, reckless driving. They could have went to town on me, but they didn't. For some God-given blessing, they did not. They gave me, I got a felony eluding and a driving on a suspended and then my warrant for my arrest. Ladies and gentlemen, the crazy thing is if I would have just said no to smoking the weed, then my anxiety wouldn't have been up about having to go see my probation officer with dirty urine. I would have went and seen my PO, but instead, because I smoked weed and my piss was dirty, I didn't go see my PO, which led to a violation, which led to me not caring, which led to me making this stupid decision where all I did was add another felony on my record. And the crazy thing is I have 6 felonies on my record that I have committed, 6 of them. But I have 12 felonies on paper because every time you violate your probation, they tack a felony charge on your paperwork, on your criminal history. So if you were to look it up, it would say that I have 12 felony convictions. That's crazy. Man, Dave, you have got to start making better decisions. You can't go around drinking and driving and think everything's going to be all right. Can't go around using drugs either. That's not a good look. No. But I found something out, man. It's not the drugs that's my problem. If I'm not using drugs, drugs are still drugs. They're doing just fine. But for some reason, even if I'm not using drugs, I still have something wrong with me that says that drugs are an answer. You know, even right now, I'm going to be honest. On the way to work today, on the way to Joe's this morning on my moped, I had one of the dumbest thoughts I've had in a long time. I could get high. I'd be all right. And you hear people. I'm so glad that I've talked to people because everybody has heard that voice. I'm not violating my probation no more. And if anybody else is out there that's on probation, man, it is so easy. So easy. You know why so many people get off of probation? They complete their You know why so many people complete their probation? Because they follow the rules. They follow the rules. No matter what the rule is. No matter how stupid it feels. They follow the rules. And guess what? That's what I'm doing. I'm going to follow the rules. I feel like it's making me a better person. I'm becoming a better father. These things just come with making good decisions. These things come with following the rules. That one little moment of me deciding I could smoke some weed led to getting all types of more messed up, violating my probation with the worst violation, absconding because I ran. They don't know where I'm at. I lied to my mom so I could borrow her car, told her some old crazy stuff, then didn't answer the phone, basically stole it. Then I wrecked it. My mom don't make a lot of money. I crashed her car. I told her straight up, was like, you know what? Press charges on me so that your insurance will pay for it. She didn't do that and everything worked out, thank God. I hurt so much stuff just because I wanted to smoke some weed. And the reason being, I have no clue. People always, well, why'd you do what you do? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know. Sound like a freaking 9-year-old. I don't know. Well, why'd you? But I mean, when you did that, you had to be thinking something. Nothing. Just say no. I'm not talking about just to drugs, but to yourself. For 36 years, I have lived this way. I have done these things. I have handled situations with this mentality. So now, when I find myself in a situation where I have to make a decision, I think to myself, what would Dave do? And then I do the opposite. No more violating probation. I'm done with it. I thank y'all for your support. I thank you for all the comments that you left. All the love that you showed me. I thank y'all again, man. I love y'all so much. Y'all have made me see myself in a whole different way. And I hope I can do that for y'all. All these people that sent me these messages saying, I was about to make a stupid decision too, Dave, and because I watched your video, I didn't make that decision. I didn't do the stupid thing I was going to do. Man, that's great. That's great. Guess what? You're not the only one that benefits from that. Your loved ones, and that should be enough. That should be enough. I get going on these tangents, man, but I think about how stupid I was. I don't want nobody else to make these same stupid decisions. I need y'all to get on this. We're on this new wave of thinking, man. Hey, Joe.
What's up?
What was it called? The bad thinking at the Indian Creek. What'd they call it?
Say what?
Bad thinking. Like, it's your
negative something? Negative thoughts?
No.
Thinking for a change?
Well, I am doing that. No, stinking thinking.
Stinking thinking?
Yeah, you can't be listening to your stinking thinking. You don't remember that? Your stinking thinking. Stinking thinking, I'm trying to tell these people that we've made these same stupid decisions our whole life. We've handled every situation our whole life the same way, right?
So you got some stinking thinking?
Yeah, so we had some stinking thinking. We got to learn how to make the right decision. And I told them what I'm doing is, and I hope you agree with this, it's like, what would Jesus do? So I go, what would Dave do?
I thought you were about to say, what would Joe do? And then I would have been really on board.
All right. But no, look, you got to ask yourself that same thing. You know what I'm saying? This is how I, handled situations my whole life. But so now I do this. What would Dave do? And then I do the exact opposite of what I would have done in that situation. And guess what? Everything is happening better for me right now. It's like, what would Dave do? Dave would smoke a blunt. Well, screw Dave. We're not doing that today. And that's where I'm at. So you got to straighten out your stinking thinking. And I say we, right? Because I feel like we're in this together, man. I feel like we're in this together. And I hope you feel the same way, man. So no more violating probation. And if you're not on probation, no more making decisions that could lead to probation. So until next time, enjoy your life. The free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day.